Hi guys, welcome back. This is Professor Hank, and in this video we're going to continue our series on Python GUI programming, and this is part 6 of that series, and we're going to talk about how, or I'm going to show you how you can use labels for output in your GUI. Okay, so to make that happen, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to use a method called set on the label, and we're going to have to associate a particular type of object with the label, right? So this type of object is known as a StringVar object, and by doing this association, anything that we set the StringVar object to is what it's automatically going to get updated on the label, right? So the label can be used for two different purposes, one for a prompt and then one for displaying output. So let's go ahead and dig into it, and we'll use our Visual Studio to make this happen. And we'll go ahead and let me switch over here. We'll go ahead and do the calculator, right? In an earlier video, we did a calculator where we converted inches to feet and inches. We'll just do the same thing here to show you how this works. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to need to import Teakenter. Okay, and then we're going to need to create a class, which I'll just call GUI, right? And we'll define an initializer method where all of our GUI setup will happen, and then we'll have an event handler method, similar to what we've been doing so far, what you've seen in previous videos. Okay, so we're going to need to go ahead and create that main window first. So let's go ahead and do that. So create the main window. Okay, so to do that, we're going to need to do that tkinter.tk. So we'll just call this self.main window equals tkinter.tk. Okay, and then once we've done that, we're going to create 3 frames, okay, for our UI. The top frame is going to be where we can get input using an entry widget. The middle frame will be where we display the results using labels. And then the bottom frame will be for our buttons, okay? So we'll have a top, a middle, and a bottom. So let's create 3 frames. Okay, so we'll call one top. Okay, and so then this is going to be tkinter.frame, and then we'll associate this with the main window. Okay, and then we're going to create 2 more of those, one for the middle, which I'll just call mid, one for the bottom, which I'll just call bot. Okay, so bot for bottom. So those are our 3 frames. Now we'll create the widgets that go into the top frame, the widgets for the top frame. Okay, and so what are we going to need for that? We're going to need a prompt label where we're going to tell the user, hey, enter some inches, right? So let's do that, self.prompt, okay, and we'll need a label, and we're going to attach this to the top frame, okay, and then we have to specify the text that we want. So text equals enter height in inches. Okay, so we'll do that. Okay, and then we're going to need a entry widget, which we will just call something like entry. Why not? Or maybe we'll call it inches entry. How about that? Okay, so then we're going to do tkinter.entry. Okay, we're going to attach this to the top frame, and then we're going to give this a width of about 10 characters. Okay, so we'll do that. All right, so then we'll go ahead and we'll pack those top frame widgets. So we'll say self.prompt.pack, and we'll align those to the left. Side equals left. Okay, and then we have to do the self.inches entry. We have to pack that, and we'll align that left as well. Okay, so we got that. And then next up, what we have to do is we have to deal with the middle frame, okay, which is going to be our output frame, basically. Okay, so now let's create the widgets for the middle frame. All right, so the top frame is for entry. The second frame is for, well, maybe we can say this is for input. Middle frame is going to be for output, and then the bottom frame is going to be for buttons. Okay. All right, so create the widgets for the middle frame. So we're going to need a label to describe what's going to be displayed, right? So we could do something like self dot, I don't know, maybe output label, or description. How about that? Description label. Well, I'll just call it description. Okay, so description, and this is going to be a label, and this is going to be attached to the middle frame, and then we have to have some text here, right? So we'll say something like, converted to feet and inches. Okay, so we'll do that. Maybe I'll do some abbreviations here so it doesn't take up so much room. To feet and inches. Okay, and then from there we're going to need to have a StringVar object, a StringVar object. So we'll say something like self dot value, I guess, equals Tkinter dot StringVar. Okay, so this right here, when we update this, the label that we associate with it will get updated too. Okay, so we got that. Now let's make that label now. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we'll call it self dot, I don't know, how about feet and inches label, right? Or maybe output label. How about that? Yeah, let's do output label, or just say output label. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to say Teakenter dot label, and then how we're going to associate this, where we're going to place it. We're going to place this in the middle frame. Okay, and then now we're going to do our association. How are we going to do that? Okay, we're going to say text variable equals what? Equals self dot value. Okay, that second argument, where you have a parameter name of text variable, we assign it self value. It's this guy right here, right? So the label's going in the middle frame, and whatever is assigned to the value variable, which is a StringVar object, whatever's assigned to that object is going to be what shows up in our label. Okay, so we'll make that label. Now we'll pack the middle frame widgets. Okay, so what do we have for the middle frame? We've got the description. So self.description.pack, and we'll align that to the left also. Side equals left. Okay, and then we've got the output label. Okay, we're going to pack that. We'll say side equals left. Okay, hopefully you're still with me so far. Maybe take a breather, take a swig of water or something. Take a look at that code. So the middle widgets are packed. Now what do we need next? We need, not package, Control-Z that. We need to add the bottom frame, right? We need to get those buttons. So let's make the buttons for the bottom frame. Okay, so we'll have two, right? We'll have a go button, which when we click that, then the conversion will happen, and then the output will be displayed, and then we'll have a quit button. Okay, so we had those in the previous videos, so we'll do that. So we'll have self.go equals tkinter.button. Okay, and we have to associate that with one of the frames. So that's one in the bottom. Okay, and then we need to put a text in there, in that button. So we'll just make it be go. And then we have to associate handler, right? So we'll create a method called handler for that. Okay, so that's going to be one button, and then we're going to have our quit button. So we'll say self.quit. Okay, tkinter.button. That's going into the bottom frame, and we're going to specify a command for that. Okay, so the command is going to be for the main window to destroy itself. So command equals, oops, I forgot to put my command up here. Command equals, okay, and down here it's going to be command equals self.main window.what.destroy, because we want the window to be destroyed. We want it to leave memory, we want it to close. Okay, so that are our button objects, but not quite done just yet. We got to pack the buttons. Pack the buttons. Okay, so self.go.pack, and we'll just keep doing that left side for these guys to align them. Okay, and then self.quit.pack side equals left. Okay, and then once we've done that, we're going to pack the frames. So pack all the frames, right? So we did all the widgets, right? We did, or I should say the labels, we did the buttons, but we still have to pack the 3 frames way back up here from lines 10 through 12. So we're going to say self.top.pack, and we'll just go with the default there, self.mid.pack, okay, and then self.bottom.pack, okay. And then after that, we have to start the main Tkinter loop. So we just say tkinter.main loop, okay. And then from there, we need to have our handler. We have to define our handler method. Okay, so we'll call it handler, because remember it's tied to this right here. Okay, so when we define that handler method, anytime the user clicks the go button, then it's automatically going to call this method that we defined here that we called handler. Okay, so what is this going to have to do? We're going to have to get the inches entered by the user. Okay, so we'll make a local variable for that, and oh, maybe I'll call it. Yeah, no, I'll just call it inches input. Okay, and so then how are we going to retrieve that? Well, we're going to ask the entry widget to give us the information. So what did we call our entry widget? Inches entry, right? So right there is the name of it. So we're going to say self.inches entry, and then we're going to use the get method. Okay, so that's going to get it and put it into input. Okay, now here's the thing though, if all we do is that, then it's going to be stored as a string, right? Because get returns a string. Now that's not good enough. We want to be able to do some math here, so we're going to convert it to an integer, that string that's returned into an integer, so that way we can do integer division and modulus with it. Okay, so once we have that, then we have to figure out how many feet and inches there are, because the user is going to type in like 74 inches, right? We got to figure out how many feet and inches that is, so 6 foot 2 inches, right? So we'll say feet equals the inches input divided by 12, okay, using integer division, and then the inches remaining is going to equal inches input modulus 12. Okay, so once we've got that, then what we have to do is we have to display that information, and I can't call this in actually because in's an operator, so we'll call this we'll call it, how about we call it remainder, or yeah, I don't know what to call it. How about just inches? I guess I could do that, right? And then we'll say feet. I can do that. I'm going to do that. We're doing it. That's just the way it is. Okay. But anyway, so now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to update the that StringVar object. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use the set method. Okay, so remember that StringVar object. Let's go back up and take a look at it again, and remember what the variable name was right here, right? So we're going to update that by using a set method. Okay, so we're going to say self.value.set, and then whatever is inside of there is going to be assigned to that widget, okay, to that label as the output. Now I want to do something with the feet and inches here. I want to make it look like, 6 foot, however many inches. So what I'll do is I'll create a little temporary string here. I'll call it T for temporary, and then I'll do equals feet plus, for feet you can do a quote, right? And then we'll get that, and then we'll say plus inches, and then we'll do a little plus here, and then we'll do a we'll do the little single, or I have that backwards, right? Inches is the quotes, and feet is a single quote, right? Double quotes is for inches. So we'll do that, okay? And then we'll set that label to our new string, okay? So let's format it pretty. Format it pretty, and then set the StringVar object, which in turn updates the output label. Now, which was the output label? Well, right there, right? This guy right here. Okay, it does that automatically because it's associated with the StringVar object. Okay, which updates the output label. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's test it and do any quick debugging that we have to do, because I'm typing this all up without testing it beforehand, right? So I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. So if name equals main, then we're going to instantiate an instance of our GUI here. Okay, so let's just say G equals GUI. Okay, now if everything goes right, that should work, and if something blows up, we'll fix it. And then before we go, I'll zoom in on the code so you can see it a little bit better all at once. Okay, so let's try it, see if anything explodes. What exploded? Okay, so one thing we have to do is we have to convert our feet back into strings, because remember we converted that into a value, and then our inches into a string as well. Okay, so that's one thing we have to fix. So let's try that. And I forgot the simplest thing in the world, my 2 little underscores. So let's try it one more time. And there we go. Okay. And ew, look at this, look at our button right there. That didn't look too good. So let's fix that. Did we not put the text in there for that? No, we didn't. So let's fix that. Text equals quit. And one last time. There we go. Okay. So we're going to enter that height in inches up here. So we're going to say, let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay. So we'll say 74 inches. We'll click go. And then you can see there's the output, 6 foot 2 inches. Okay, we'll try another value here. Oh, I don't know, 58 inches. What's that? 4 foot 10 inches. Okay, so there we go. So let me minimize this code here, see if I can get it all into one frame for you. There we go. It's kind of small, actually. That might be kind of bad. All right, let's see if I can get it to where you can see it all. All right, so that's everything that I got for you in this video. So what did we do? Showed you how to combine a StringVar object and a label together to be able to display output in your Python GUIs. As usual, if you're a student of mine, you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. hit me up on Zoom or stop by my office hours. For everybody else, if you thought the video was useful, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you thought the video sucked, get that thumbs down as well. And consider tipping your teacher and joining as a member for additional perks for as little as 99 cents a month, or hit that super thanks button down there, or leave a comment, whatever. Let me know how I did. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here in the next video, part 7 of this series. Thanks for watching.